Hi, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of joybaking.com. Today we're going to make yellow cupcakes with the chocolate frosting. The first thing we need to do is preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 180 degrees Celsius, and then either line 12 muffin cups with paper liners like I've done here, or you could just butter or even spray them with a non-stick vegetable spray. And then to make the batter, you can use a stand mixer like I have here with the with the paddle attachment, or you could just do it by hand with an electric mixer. So this is a really easy batter to make. All we need to do is put 1.5 cups, that's 195 grams, of white all-purpose flour in your bowl, and then add 1 cup, that's 200 grams of white granulated sugar, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. And then we're just going to mix those together, maybe like 30 seconds. Doesn't take very long. Okay, that was simple enough. And then all we're going to do is dump all the wet ingredients into the dry. You may know this as a dump cake, very easy. So what we're going to do is I've taken 1/2 cup, that's about 113 grams, and I've used unsalted butter, but you can use salted if you want. And just cut it into small pieces and make sure it's at room temperature, which means it's just a little soft when I press it. You don't want it cold because then it won't mix in fully into the dry ingredients. And then to that I'm going to add 1 large egg, and that's at room temperature, and 2 large egg yolks. The difference between a yellow cake and a white cake is the fact that a yellow cake uses more egg yolks. That gives you that nice, rich yellow color to the cake and flavor. And then I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Try to use a pure, it's better flavor than the artificial. And then the last ingredient is 1/2 cup, that's 120 milliliters, of either sour cream, or you could use a plain yogurt. If you're make sure, especially with the yogurt, to use the full fat. Now all I'm going to do is mix this together until it's nice and smooth and satiny. That will only take about 30 minutes, 30 minutes, that'd be a long time, 30 seconds. And on medium speed. Scrape down the sides if you need to. Make sure it's all incorporated. Okay, and we're done. As you can see, you can whip a batch of these up in no time. And this gives you a nice, moist and dense cake with a really nice, rich flavor. See, that's what you're looking for, nice and thick. Okay. So you can use, I like to use an ice cream scoop to put the batter in the muffin cups. If not, you can just use 2 spoons. Just try to get an even amount in each one. just overfilled a few of these, so. Even it out. Okay, so into the oven for 20 to 25 minutes or until pale golden color and a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. So our yellow cupcakes are now done. You can see nice color to them. If you put a toothpick in the center of one, it'll come out clean. So I'm just going to let these cool completely to room temperature, and then we'll start the chocolate frosting. So now we'll make our chocolate fudge frosting. Make sure your cupcakes have completely cooled. And the first thing we need to do for the frosting is to take 4 ounces, 120 grams of unsweetened chocolate. That's chocolate that's in its rawest form. There's no sugar added. You might know it as plain chocolate. And what I've done is I've melted it. You can either do this in a heat-proof bowl over a saucepan of simmering water, or you can just do it in your microwave. So melt that and then let that cool to room temperature. And then if you have a stand mixer, you can use a paddle attachment, or you could just use a hand mixer. I'm going to put 2/3 of a cup, that's 150 grams of butter at room temperature. Now I'm using unsalted because I like the flavor, but you can just use salted butter if you like that. And then I'm just going to beat this medium speed until it's nice and creamy and smooth. Okay. Scrape down the sides, and then what I'm going to do is just sift over top 1 1/3, that's about 160 grams of confectioner sugar, or you might know it as powdered or icing sugar. And I'm sifting this to get rid of any lumps in the sugar. And then I'm just going to beat this until it's light and fluffy, a couple minutes on medium speed. You might want to start it low so this doesn't, sugar doesn't go out in your face. If you need to, just scrape down the sides. I want to get all that sugar mixed in with the butter. Okay. Now we're just going to add our chocolate. As I said, you want to make sure this is cooled because you don't want it to melt the butter if it was still warm. This is chocolate that you don't eat out of hand because, like I said, it doesn't have any sugar in it, so it's quite bitter, but it really adds a nice fudgy flavor to this frosting. So I'm just going to beat this in. Screw it down, make sure everything incorporated. That's good. Now once it's all mixed in, now I'm just going to continue to beat it about medium speed for about 2 to 3 minutes until it gets really creamy and satiny color, shiny and thick. You want it nice and thick in case, so if you want to pipe it. Okay, this is what we're looking for, really nice and thick. As you can see, it's lightened in color from when we started. This is a really good tasting chocolate frosting. Now, to decorate your cupcakes, there's a couple of ways. If I'm just doing it for my family, I just usually just take a knife and get a little frosting here and just put a little swipe of frosting, as much as little as you want, like so. I just do that, and then you could maybe, well, the kids like the colored sprinkles, and just put some sprinkles over the top. But sometimes you want a little something special. So you could use any kind of, you use your pastry bag and any kind of tip. I'm going to use just a plain round tip. This time you could use a star tip. And then you just put it into your pastry bag, like so. And just fold down the top. And then just put your frosting into the bag. So then you want to just like that, and then just grab the end and push the frosting down to the tip. So then once you see it right to the end, and then just make sure you get all the air out of the bag. Just press and then turn, so you got a good grip on it. And then with even pressure, and this just takes practice, so don't worry about it at the beginning. And then I'm just going to place like large dollops. So I'm just going to straight down with even pressure, and you can just kind of move it around until you get as much as you want, and then just that, like so. And cover the. When you're ready to, if you've got enough icing, then just let up on the pressure. Just like so. And then straight up. Press down, and then just release the pressure and straight up. And then There's all kinds of things. Like I said, there's some nice, these chocolate sprinkles look good. Or sometimes I just take either white or semi-sweet, or white semi-sweet, or even this is milk chocolate. Just take, if you have a little grater, and I just grate as much and decorate them. And of course, cupcakes, as always, are really at their best the day they are made, but you can cover and store these for a few days at room temperature. So enjoy. So until next time, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of joyofbaking.com.